Good morning, good morning, good morning. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. It is Saturday, June 17th, and you know what time it is. It's Wax Gaming Weekly Recap time, where we try and go through all the highlights from this past week, plus any upcoming events in the next week or so, and try and give it to you all in 10, probably 15 minutes or less. So let's go ahead and jump in there. This is actually a quieter week, other than the main event that's coming next week, which we'll talk about here shortly. But overall, there's not a ton of updates that we normally see on the Wax blockchain. I think everybody's so focused on the Game Fest, plus a few other activities which we'll refer to as we're going through this week. But let's go ahead and dive in with the main event that's coming up this week, which is the Atomic Hub Game Fest. I mentioned this last time. It is running from June 19th all the way to the 25th, and there's tons of events happening every single day. If you go over to this, and I'll have a link in the description down below so you can jump right there, you can see that it kicks off with Crittercraft on the 19th and goes all the way through. And if you go ahead and scroll down the page, there's a new section here. There's actually going to be some specials that are going to go on the launch pad for Atomic Hub during the event, kicking off as soon as Monday, which gives you, for example, for Avalon, you can go ahead and get a four-day pass, which lets you go in there, test the game out, and really try a bunch of stuff within the game and get ready for their PvP event that's coming up on Friday. Then you got the Grub Fest. They have a pack out there. You can go ahead and get some flags. You can get booster packs from Forsaken, and then there's a skin pack that's going to be available here shortly from Cryptia and basically Taco universe. So those are some specials that they're running as part of this event. And then as you go down through the schedule, like I said, every single day they have different events for each of the different games that are involved in with this. And I mentioned this in the past, and I mentioned this in the video that I put out there highlighting this. 4 of my top 5 games, actually I think all 5, 4 of my top 5 games are involved in this event. So I'm super excited with that. And if you haven't seen my videos, at least my May one, I haven't put the June one out yet. My top 4 games on the Wax blockchain right now: Avalon number 1, Forgery number 2, Forsaken number 3, and Taco, which is a crypto as part of the Taco universe, is number 4 on the list. So it's really neat to see all 4 of these, plus a few other great games that are going to be involved in this. And I, again, highly encourage you to go to the website, pick your favorite game, even check out some of the new games that are coming out here. I think it's going to be great. So go ahead and check those out. I did want to highlight a few of them. For example, I mentioned Avalon has their, it's a 4-day pass. Many people were balking at the June pass, even though I think it's well worth the money, especially the results that you get. But they do have this really cheap version that you can go ahead and test out the game. Please remember, it's still alpha. This is the first PvP style tournament that they're doing in the game. So definitely check that out. In addition, I wanted to highlight for the Taco universe for Cryptia, they have an Atomic Hub Gem event that's coming on. It actually kicks off, the blend itself kicks off on June 16th. And essentially what you're going to do is take 2 of your common items and you're able to craft these gems. And the gems will be able to allow you to earn, there's, I guess, going to be a pool or a share of 8,000 wax that you're able to earn as part of the events coming up for Game Fest. So I encourage you to go ahead out to their Discord, check it out. Here's the page within the Launchpad or within Atomic Hub that shows you there's only a total of 500 of the gems available. And it actually kicked off, by the time you're watching this, it'll be yesterday. I'm recording this on Friday just as a reminder. All right, so like I said, there's a ton of great events that are going to be coming up. It actually kicked off yesterday, by the time you're watching this, all the way through the end of next week, next Sunday. So definitely check them out. I encourage you to also go ahead, like for example, Crittercraft is running a 10-hour event with a whole bunch of different streamers that's giving a whole bunch of different stuff away. So it's going to be really neat to go ahead and check out. Last time I mentioned this, June 19th through the 25th, and I'll go ahead and put some videos out this coming week as far as focusing on different events that are going through. Specifically, like I said, Crittercraft is doing a 10-hour event with a whole bunch of streamers, which I think is going to be awesome. Lots of items that are going to be given away during that. Next on the list, and this is a big one, we're going to go through the FGL projects here. Outlaw Troopers, they kicked off their Season 6. If you saw my video earlier this week, there's a lot of updates that have happened, including access passes, a lot of changes within the game, and some additional features that I think are great additions to the overall season. So go ahead and check out Outlaw Troopers. They've also announced that they will be kicking off the Mecha World tournament. This is a Mecha World focused one, so it's not like a themed one like Alien World. That'll kick off here on June 26th. You have a chance to win a lot of FGL, and also parts will be available in this. And this is that dice tournament that I did a video on a few weeks ago. It's pretty fun. It's pretty fun because it's a PvP style event. Usually you go against 4 people, and it's a dice style, so there's some strategy that's involved with it. And then Cosmic Clash also kicked off their 4th week of the King of the Hill event. That ends on the 19th, so if you're in that 4th week, make sure you're pushing. You still got a couple days left. Like the King of the Hill, they are going to go back to the normal season format here shortly. It's kind of just an in-between season event, just to keep mixing things up for Cosmic Clash. I think it's a great addition to the overall thing. Next, we got Season 11 is right around the corner for Dungeon Masters. Season 10 just finished this past Wednesday. Season 11 will kick off next Wednesday. There are a lot of changes. Some of the key changes that are going to go on with this is the threshold for the daily bonuses. Instead of contribution of 35,000, it's moved up to 45,000. Plus, they did remove the gold pack from the Well of Wealth, but they're going to replace it with something else yet to be seen. I'll go ahead and do a small video on this just with all the changes that are going to come up here on Wednesday. So that's going to come up here shortly. And then I mentioned this last week, but I didn't dive a ton into it. The Nova Pangea in-game event, this is basically you're playing the game and you have the chance to go ahead and win a whole bunch of prizes, including these gold legendaries. I mentioned it last time, but I didn't really push it last time. These things are awesome. They look great as far as the gold one goes. That's the top prize in each of the events. If you scroll down this Medium article, it kind of walks through as far as what you can do. It's going to go, it already kicked off on the 12th, and it's going to go all the way through Friday, the 30th. And you can win a whole bunch of prizes as you're going through. If you have the most energy mined, that's one way to win. You got your total shifts worked. As you can see, there's going to be 10 winners for each of these categories. Again, with the promo, the gold legendary promo card, which I think, again, looks awesome, as the top prize in each of the events. Next on the list, we have Realm. Realm actually just finished up their double XP event, which is a great event if you're trying to level up your leaders. So that just finished up. They're actually just cruising through the season, and I don't think it's gotten as much attention as it probably should, because it's still a great game. It's just a long season. But their next event is going to be a global event that kicks off on the 27th, and then that's going to wrap up the season. A week after that event kicks off, they'll go ahead and wrap up Season 8, and then move on to the next one. So we'll see what happens in Season 9 as far as the duration goes. And they keep hinting at something bigger, which I find very intriguing, we'll say. And then next on the list, we have Million on Mars. I don't mention this a lot, but I wanted to highlight this because they've been posting an updated roadmap on their Discord. I like when they do that, because most projects put a generic roadmap in their white paper that never gets updated. So they're actively trying to keep everybody up to date with what they've completed, what's coming up here in the near future. I wish more projects would do this, so I wanted to highlight that. If there's other project owners that watch this, do this. This is great. People like this. All right. Cosmos 11, I did mention this last time, but I wanted to highlight it again since it's a full June event. They are running a ton of tournaments throughout the month of June. A ton of prizes that are going to be given away as part of these events. If you're a soccer or football fan, depending on where you live in the world, definitely check this out. It's a fun one that you can go ahead out there and again, check out. For Zombie Coin, they went ahead and announced the details for the level 5 tools. And these are ones that are much more efficient, obviously expensive to go ahead and blend, but they are very, very, very efficient. So definitely check it out, especially if you're in Zombie Coin. You're going to want to try and push to get these tools if possible. I know they're expensive, so they're not beginner friendly, but that's why you have level 1, level 2, level 3, all the way up to level 5. Next on the list, we got Colonized Mars. They're very active recently, especially with the new gameplay that they've added. There's some Discord changes that they went ahead and announced. The other thing that I did want to mention is they reduced the fee in Atomic Hub. I really like when projects do that. There's some projects that are 10, 12 plus, all the way up to 15% fees. They've actually reduced theirs because of the volume, which I think is great. I think that helps everybody out. And they still have the volume that allows them to continue to do their development. So I wanted to highlight that. The next on the list, the next 3 items on the list is something I normally don't cover a ton. I'm a big game utility fan for NFTs, but I understand the appeal to the art style and just specifically art collectible style NFTs. So I do understand that. It's not mine. It's not my thing that I like to enjoy, but I appreciate it. And I've noticed, and I'm sure you have noticed also, there's a big push for PFPs recently. And I see the trend continuing. So we're going to see a ton more PFPs. Again, I appreciate the art style of them, so I'm not trying to bash anything. It's just not my thing. But there's some really cool ones out there. For example, the Nova Pangea one, which I highlighted, that has a ton of utility that goes along with it. And for me personally, that's key with PFPs. I just putting it out there as your avatar for Twitter or whatever is one thing, but the fact that you can do that plus get a ton of utility that goes along with it also. The Nova Pangea are my favorite PFPs, but I also know the wax apes is incredibly popular. I don't want to dwell on this because I know it's a mixed bag with some people. So I think it's a great addition because it's got a lot of people excited about a project within the wax community. So I wanted to go ahead and highlight that. It does have some utility. I'm just curious on how long the utility will last as far as the kickbacks for the fees that the project gets. But then there's also going to be a ton more. For example, we see the V-Punks just released recently. We had V-Bots earlier. I've been seeing on Twitter a number of other people highlighting theirs. There's a few that I think look great from an art style. So I just wanted to put a whole little section because I'm not going to talk about each of the PFPs that get released on this weekly recap. But I just want to make you aware, if you're a PFP fan or a collection art fan, you're going to have some fun coming up here in the near future because there's going to be a lot more of these PFP released, especially after they saw the success from the wax apes. I see this being a trend coming here in the now. It's already started. So you guys are going to have some fun with that. So just check that out. And then last but not least, as far as the weekly recap goes, Funko. I mentioned this last time. They are doing an It series drop. This is the horror movie, if you're not familiar with it. I wanted to highlight it again because it is dropping here on Tuesday, the 20th. There's going to be a total of 42,000+ packs available. And the reason I'm mentioning it again is because they did release the look of the redeemable ones, and I'm really excited actually for this one. This is something that a lot of the Funko community has been asking for, a Pennywise Freddy Funko. So this actually looks pretty cool. It looks a little bit different than the normal Pennywise, but it's Freddy Funko as it. So as a Funko collector, this is neat to me. So I will probably go for this, or at least attempt to try and get the royalty. And if you watch the movies at all, there's a ton of actually pretty neat ones out there also. This one is just a highlight. This is the one I'm most interested in. So again, that's this week in a weekly recap for Wax. Again, the big feature, the big highlight of this coming week is going to be the Atomic Hub Game Fest. Highly encourage you all to check it out. Go ahead in the comments down below. Let me know, are you going to attend one of these? Or are you going to go ahead and check out one of the games? If you're at all interested in checking out a new game, which game is it going to be from Game Fest? And also, if you wish there was another game for Game Fest 2.0, the next one that they're going to have, what games would you like to see on that list? I hope you all have a great day. I hope you all have a great rest of your weekend, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.